We're going to create a screen that you can use for your TVs or your computers. I'm using the polygon cube, and we'll be using the loft tool to create the surfaces we need to accomplish this. So let's get started on this. I'm going to go to my front view, create polygon primitives, cube, drag the front of the screen, tap my space bar, I'll return to my perspective view, and I'll scale that to the thickness that I want. I'll hold down Command Shift on the Mac, Control Shift on my PC, and I'm going to go to Edit Mesh, and I'm going to click on Extrude, and you'll see on your shelf now there is a poly white plane with a orange cube on it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color the geometry black in this case because it's going to serve as a TV screen. I'll right click, go to Assign New Materials, I'll choose a blend, I'll name the blend, and I'll just drag on my slider bar all the way to the left to make a black surface. And I'm going to go to the front of that screen shape now, right click, choose face, select the front face, and I'll click on my Extrude Poly tool. And Extrude Poly tool gives you all three functions at the same time. You'll see there's rotation, scale, and then the transform arrows. If these icons are too tightly placed next to each other, you can hit plus on the keyboard and they'll separate them out so you can access these functions easier. What I want to do now is I want to scale in that original face. Because now that I've used my Polygon Extrude tool, I've got extra geometry I just generated. At this point, you'll want to determine the thickness of the perimeter of the frame of your TV screen. I'll go to my orthographic view to do that. And I'm doing that because it doesn't scale symmetrically. You'll notice that as you drag and scale that face in, that the side polygon faces are wider than the top. So you'll have to go in and tweak that to make it more believable. Once I've got the surface scaled to what I want and the perimeter, the thickness I want, I'm going to add a new material to this. So I'll right click, assign new material. Once again, I'll choose a blend. I'm going to name this screen, and I'm going to go out through my texture node here, checkerboards at the end of the word color. I'll click on it, and I'll follow out through file and find the texture that'll serve as my screen. I'm using a JPEG here, and you'll see that once you introduce that it's not the same size. I've got to use my planar mapping now to place that the way I want. So once again, I'll select the plane, hold down the space bar, go to UV, planar mapping. I'm in the attributes. I'll go to edit reset settings, and I want to choose the axis that is perpendicular to the surface that the texture is now on. In this case, it's my Z axis. So I'll set it for Z and hit apply. And there you have it. Now if you need to scale it or rotate it or move it, the red T in the lower left-hand corner of the virtual tool that appears once you introduce that will allow you to access all those functions at once.